Hey, you chasing success. Good. But let me tell you something real. Success isn't a finish line. It's not a trophy. It's not some mountaintop where angels sing and everything's perfect. Success is a journey. A long, messy, beautiful, brutal journey. It's not about the applause. It's about the reps you do when no one's watching. It's not about the result, it's about the resilience. Every early morning, every late night, every tear wiped in silence, that's success. That's the journey, and that's what shapes a warrior. People chase titles, followers, likes, money, but none of it means a thing if you don't build who you are along the way. You want success, then you better fall in love with the climb. The daily discipline, the setbacks, the sweat, because that's where greatness lives. So let's break this down. I'm going to walk you through 8 core truths that prove success is not a place you arrive. It's who you become on the way. You ready? Let's go. Too many people delay their dreams waiting for the perfect plan, waiting until the stars align, until they feel ready. But let me break that illusion. You don't need to have it all figured out to start. You just need to start. Success doesn't require a map, it requires movement. And guess what? Every champion, every icon, every world changer you admire, they all started with uncertainty. They all took the first step with fear in their chest and doubt on their back. The difference, they didn't wait, they acted. They moved even if it was messy. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man who dreamed of playing football at the highest level. He trained, he bled. He gave everything to the game, but he didn't make it to the pros. Instead, he found himself broke, cut from a team, sleeping on a mattress in a tiny apartment. Dreams crushed, future unclear, but instead of quitting, he pivoted. He didn't know the full path ahead, but he took the next step. He started with small roles, late nights, and relentless effort. And today, he's one of the most successful entertainers and entrepreneurs on the planet. He didn't wait until he had all the answers. He started where he was and built the answers along the way. That's the truth of the journey. Most people think success looks like a staircase, clean, structured, obvious. But it's more like a jungle, dense, confusing, full of setbacks and snakes, and the only way out is through. So let me talk to you. If you're standing at the edge of something big but feel paralyzed, listen close. You are more ready than you think. You've got the scars, good, that means you've survived. You've got the doubt, good, that means you're stepping into the unknown. You've got fear, great, because fear shows up when something matters. The worst thing you can do is nothing. The best thing, start. Here's what starting looks like. Writing one paragraph even if the book's still in your head. Going for one walk even if you haven't hit the gym in months. Recording one video even if your hands are shaking. That first step, it won't be perfect, it won't be clean, but it's necessary, and every step you take gives you new information. Every move teaches you what works and what doesn't. You don't learn by planning, you learn by doing. Think about Jeff Bezos. He didn't launch Amazon with $1 billion plan. He started selling books from his garage, one sale, one product, one customer at a time. He didn't need perfection, he needed progress. Now here's the key. Clarity comes through action, not overthinking. The more you move, the more your purpose reveals itself. And slowly, your steps turn into a stride. Your stride becomes a sprint, and before you know it, you're running toward the version of yourself you were always meant to be. So if you're still saying things like, "I'll start when I have more time," "I'll begin when I'm more confident," "I just need a little more research," stop. You don't need more time, you need more courage. You need to trust that the path will appear once you move. Let me give you some tools to ignite that first step. Shrink the mountain, don't focus on the finish line. Just focus on the first step. Break the big into small, small into daily, daily into doable. Stop comparing chapters, everyone's timeline is different. Stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Act before you're ready. Success doesn't come to the most prepared, it comes to the most courageous. Start scared, start unsure, just start. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time, the conditions won't line up. Your confidence won't suddenly arrive. Your doubts won't disappear, but your decision, that's in your control right now. So get up, get moving, take the shot, send the email, make the call, record the video. Step into the unknown with your head high and your heart on fire. You were never meant to be stuck. You were born to move, to grow, to climb, and to succeed, not because you waited until you were ready, but because you had the guts to start anyway. Let me be real with you. If you're only focused on the outcome, you're setting yourself up for failure. I don't care how big the goal is, how grand the vision. If you can't find joy in the process, you're going to burn out. Fast, we live in a world obsessed with the finish line. We want the prize, the recognition, the celebration, but that's not where the magic happens. The magic happens when you're in the grind, in the daily effort, in the struggle. The process, that's the real prize. Let me take you back to 1998. A young woman named Serena Williams, already a force in tennis, faced a crushing defeat in the finals of a major tournament. Did she stop? Did she give up on her dream? No, instead she dug deeper into the process, the grind, the repetition, every early morning, every late night, training, refining, getting better, and today. She's one of the greatest athletes of all time, a legend who's earned the respect of the world not just for the trophies, but for how she handled every single step it took to get there. That's the lesson. The journey makes the champion, not the title. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've got big goals. You've got dreams that are burning inside you. You want success now. But I need you to hear this loud and clear. The secret to success is not the end goal, it's the small wins along the way. You see, the outcome, that's just a result. It's the icing on the cake. But if you're not enjoying the process, the cake means nothing. No matter how many wins you stack, they won't feel fulfilling unless you've fallen in love with the climb. Think about it like this. Success is like a relationship. You don't fall in love with the finish line, you fall in love with the little moments, the growth, the evolution of the person you're becoming. It's the sweat, the grind, the late nights when no one is cheering. Those are the moments you build character. Those are the moments that prepare you for the big stage. Let's talk about Kobe Bryant. He wasn't just chasing championships. He was obsessed with the craft of basketball, the process of getting better every single day. Every dribble, every shot, every workout. He didn't just want to win, he wanted to be the best at what he did. The process was his purpose, and that's what made him great. When you fall in love with the process, it doesn't matter if the end result takes years, because each day is a win in itself. Each day you improve, you're winning. Each day you push through obstacles, you're winning. Each day you get back up after a setback, you're winning. So what does this look like for you? It looks like celebrating every small victory. It looks like focusing on what you can control today, not on the outcome a year from now. It looks like not rushing the process, but embracing it. The world wants quick fixes, shortcuts, and hacks. But here's the hard truth. There are no shortcuts in the process. Success is a result of repetition, consistency, and dedication over time. And if you can't find satisfaction in the process, you won't find fulfillment when you reach the top, because the top, it's just another starting point for the next climb. Let me show you how to embrace the process and make it your ally. Set daily goals, not just big dreams. Don't just focus on the big picture. Break your goal down into daily actions. Whether it's writing one page of your book, doing 20 push-ups, or spending 30 minutes studying, make every day count. Small steps lead to massive progress. Enjoy the grind. This is where the magic happens, not when you're celebrating your victory, but when you're pushing yourself to the limit. Find joy in the work. Fall in love with the sweat. Embrace the discomfort, because that's what shapes you. Focus on self-improvement instead of only looking for validation from others. Focus on improving yourself every day. Ask, who can I be today that I wasn't yesterday? The answer isn't found in the end result, it's found in the process of becoming. Trust the timing of your journey. You don't need to rush success. It's not a race. The more you trust in the process, the more you'll see that things unfold at exactly the right time. Stay consistent and be patient. The results will come. Embrace the struggle. Success doesn't happen without struggle. The obstacles, the failures, the moments of doubt, those are the tests that prepare you for the win. So don't fear the struggle. It's part of the process. Here's the bottom line. The journey is where you get to prove who you are. Not just to the world, but to yourself. The victories feel so much sweeter when you've put in the work, when you've embraced the grind, and when you've learned from the process. Success isn't about the destination, it's about the relentless pursuit of becoming who you were always meant to be. Every step, every challenge, every lesson, that's where the real power is. And when you learn to love the process, the success, it's just a natural byproduct. The real prize is who you become in the process. You want to know the real cost of success, failure, not once, not twice, again and again until you're bleeding, exhausted, and questioning everything you thought you knew. But here's the truth they don't teach in schools. Every failure is not the end, it's a foundation. Let me tell you something loud and clear. Failure is part of the deal, not a side effect, not an accident. It's the entrance fee to greatness. Let's rewind the clock to a young man auditioning for role after role in Hollywood. Constant rejection, told he was too big, too intense, not right for the camera. But he kept showing up, kept learning, kept failing forward. That man didn't let no stop him. Today, he's a global icon, producing, performing, and inspiring millions. That man didn't just succeed, he outlasted failure. That's what champions do. They don't avoid failure, they fail forward. You see, failure isn't a wall, it's a mirror. It shows you who you are. Are you going to fold when life hits hard, or are you going to stand up, wipe the blood off your face, and come back swinging? Thomas Edison 10-0. 0 attempts to create the light bulb. You think he was obsessed with the failure. No, he said, I have not failed. I've just found 10 zeros, 0 ways that won't work. That's fail forward, that's grit. That's the mindset of someone who understands that success is built on the rubble of everything that didn't work. Now listen, failure will bruise your ego. It'll embarrass you. People will whisper. You'll feel the heat. But it's how you respond that separates the amateurs from the warriors. Let me ask you this. What if the failure isn't there to hurt you, but to teach you? To make you better, to show you a weakness you've been ignoring, to force you to dig deeper, train harder, focus sharper. Some of the greatest inventions, greatest performances, and greatest leaders in history were forged in failure. Michael Jordan didn't make his high school varsity basketball team. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school twice, and every one of them had two options. Let the setback define them. Let it refine them. They chose the second, and so can you. Here's how to fail forward like a beast. Own the failure, don't excuse it, you want to grow. Start by taking responsibility. Don't blame the world, the weather, or the system. Say, that was on me, now watch what I do next. Extract the lesson. Every failure has a hidden gem, a lesson that makes you sharper. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this pain that will make me better? If you don't learn from it, you will repeat it. Shift your language. Stop saying, I failed. Start saying, I'm learning. Because as long as you're learning, you're not losing, you're evolving. Double down on action. Don't just cry about it. Move. Adjust, adapt, rebuild. Every time you stand back up, you're telling life, you can knock me down, but I won't stay there. Here's a secret. The most dangerous person in the room isn't the one who's never failed. It's the one who's failed 1,000 times and refuses to quit. Because that person, they've built armor, they've built wisdom, and now they're unbreakable. You want success, then welcome failure like a mentor. Let it hit you, hurt you, humble you, and then let it make you bulletproof. The journey to greatness is paved in bruises, setbacks, and second chances. And every time you fall forward, you get a little closer. Every loss, a lesson. Every no, a redirection. Every mistake, a masterclass. So don't fear failure. Fear standing still. Fear never starting. Fear dying with your potential still locked inside. You started this journey with nothing, and guess what? Failure is part of the map, but it's not your destination. Your destination is who you become because of every setback you survived. So take the hit, rise up, and walk forward like you were built for the storm. Because you are. You ever see someone get a taste of success and completely lose their mind? They get one win, one paycheck, one spotlight moment, and suddenly they're too good to grind, too important to stay late, too famous to remember where they came from. Let me tell you something real. Success that goes to your head will never reach your heart, and when success loses its foundation, it crumbles. But the greats, the ones who build legacies, not just moments, they do two things every day. They stay hungry, they stay humble. Let's break that down. Stay hungry. Hunger is what gets you off the couch. It's what makes you train when no one's watching. It's what keeps you studying, working, learning long after the excitement fades. Hunger is the fire inside you that whispers, "I'm not done yet." Look at someone like LeBron James, multimillionaire. Championships, global icon, could have coasted years ago, but he's still in the gym at 4 a.m., still refining his game, still studying tape. Why? Because he's hungry. He knows. The second you start thinking, "I've made it," the second you relax, someone else is outworking you. Success is rented and rents to every single day. Hunger means you never settle. You celebrate your wins, then get right back to work. Now, let's talk about the other side. Stay humble. Humility is your anchor. It reminds you where you started. It keeps you connected to the struggle. It protects you from arrogance, from ego, from forgetting what matters. You can be strong without being arrogant. You can be confident without being cocky. True strength isn't loud, it's rooted. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young kid raised in poverty, surrounded by addiction and instability. He had every reason to give up. But he didn't. He hustled, he trained, he pushed through every obstacle life threw at him. Eventually, he rose to fame, became a household name beloved by millions. But even at the peak, he never forgot to say thank you. He never stopped showing up early. Never stopped talking to fans, never stopped acknowledging the people who helped him rise. He stayed humble because he remembered the nights he had nothing, and that humility, that's what made people respect him even more. Here's the balance. Let your hunger drive you to greatness. Let your humility remind you to be grateful. Because when you combine the two, you become unstoppable. So how do you keep both alive? Celebrate. Then reset. When you hit a milestone, celebrate it. Be proud, but don't get stuck there. Reset your goals. Ask, what's next? Stay moving. Serve others on the way up. Success isn't just about what you get, it's about what you give. Help others rise. Stay grounded by remembering someone helped you too. Check your circle. Surround yourself with people who keep you humble and hungry, not yes men, real ones. The kind who clap for you but also call you out when you're slipping. Remember where you came from, write it down. Speak it out. Revisit the pain, the struggle, the grind. It keeps you hungry. It keeps you grateful. Never forget your roots because they're what gave you your grit. Here's the deal. Hunger gets you in the room. Humility is what makes people want to keep you there. Without hunger, you lose your edge. Without humility, you lose your way. Success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about staying there with integrity. And the only way to do that is to keep chasing better and never thinking you're above the climb. Stay hungry for growth. Stay humble in victory. Stay grounded in your mission and fearless in your action. Because when you carry both, you don't just succeed, you inspire. We all love motivation, that spark, that hype, that fire. In the gut feeling, it's powerful. It gets us started. But let me tell you something most people won't. Motivation is a liar. It shows up when it wants. It leaves without warning. It's there on the good days. It disappears when things get hard. So if you're building your journey on motivation, you're building on sand, the real foundation. Discipline is what shows up after motivation walks out. Discipline is waking up at 5 a.m. when your body says no. Discipline is studying for that exam when your mind wants Netflix. Discipline is hitting the gym when your heart says, let's skip today. That's the truth. Champions are not made in moments of motivation. They're built in moments of decision when no one's watching. Look at legends, look at icons. You think they felt like it every day. Let's take Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL. Dude wakes up at 4:30 a.m. every single day. Why? Because he's training his mind. He doesn't rely on how he feels. He relies on what he's committed to. You want to grow, you want success. You better stop chasing the feeling and start building the habit. Because discipline doesn't ask, do I want to? It says, this is who I am. Now, here's a truth most people run from. Motivation is for the start. Discipline is for the finish. Think of someone training for a marathon. Day 1, they're pumped, new shoes, playlist on, Instagram post, let's go. Day 17, knees hurt, alarm rings at 5:00 a.m. and there's rain outside, motivation's gone, but if they're disciplined, they get up. They run, and that's the difference between talkers and finishers. Let me break down how to build unshakable discipline. Create non-negotiables. These aren't goals. These are rules. You brush your teeth every day, right? Make your workouts, study time, or hustle part of your identity. It's not if, it's when. Remove emotion from action. Stop asking, do I feel like it? That question is a trap. Ask instead, what would the best version of me do right now? Then go do it. Track your consistency. Use a journal. Use a wall calendar. Put a red X on every day you showed up. Build a streak. Streaks create momentum. Momentum becomes identity. Do it especially when you don't want to. That's when the real growth happens. When your mind screams skip and you go anyway, you just leveled up. Now listen, discipline isn't glamorous. It's not going viral. No one's clapping for you at 4 a.m. No one's cheering when you turn down distractions. But guess what? That's where legends are made, in the shadows, in the silence, in the decision to keep going even without applause. People say, you're so lucky. No, you're so consistent. That's the truth. And the truth doesn't need to be flashy, it just needs to work. So I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you failed yesterday. I don't care if motivation packed its bags and left you hanging. Be disciplined anyway. Because one day, when the success comes, and it will, you'll know exactly why. It wasn't luck. It wasn't hype. It wasn't motivation. It was the days you showed up when you had every excuse not to. It was discipline. Let's get straight to it. You are not climbing this mountain alone. And if you try to, you'll fall harder and faster than you ever imagined. Because here's a truth most people ignore. Your circle determines your ceiling. The people around you, they either pour fuel on your fire or they smother it. If you hang around 5 lazy people, you'll be the 6th. 5 complainers, you'll start whining too. But surround yourself with 5 grinders, 5 visionaries, 5 warriors, and boom, your life changes. Why? Because energy is contagious. So ask yourself, is your circle pushing you forward or pulling you back? Think about athletes. Champions don't train alone. They've got coaches, teammates, mentors, accountability. Why? Because iron sharpens iron, and dull people, they can't sharpen anything, not even their own lives. Take a real life example. Kevin Hart, one of the highest paid entertainers in the world, but he'll tell you straight his circle keeps him grounded and hungry. He's got a trainer who shows up every single day, no excuses. Friends who push him, mentors who challenge him. He built a fire around him and it keeps him burning. Because success, it's hard enough on your own. Why make it harder by dragging dead weight? Now don't get it twisted, I'm not saying cut off everyone who isn't winning, but you better start checking the direction they're headed, if they're not climbing with you. Why are they holding your rope? Let me give you some real talk. If they laugh at your dreams, they're not your people. If they disappear when you're struggling, they were never real. If they get jealous when you win, they're not on your team. You need people who clap when you rise, people who challenge your excuses, people who say, you're better than this, now act like it. And if you don't have that right, now build it. Mentors, coaches, a mastermind, a squad, a circle of fire. Because if you want to go far, you need fuel. You need energy that lifts, not limits. You need people who match your grind and raise your standard. Here's how to build a circle that ignites you. It's your inner circle. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Do they inspire you, challenge you, or drain you? Be honest and be ruthless. Protect your energy. Stop letting negative voices rent space in your mind. Limit your time with people who bring drama, excuses, or doubt. Your mind is sacred. Guard it. Find people who are ahead of you. Want to grow fast. Hang with people who have already walked the path. Don't be the smartest in the room. Be the one who's hungry to learn. Be the fire for someone else. This ain't just about you. Lift others. Encourage others. Be the kind of teammate you wish you had, because giving energy also multiplies it. Now, I get it. Sometimes you grow, and your circle doesn't. That's hard. It hurts, but growth requires separation. You can love people from a distance, but if you're trying to climb and they're pulling you down, you have a choice. Shrink yourself to fit in, or rise and lead by example. Your dreams are too big for small energy, too sacred for fake support, too important to be watered down by people who don't believe in themselves, let alone in you. So here's the final message for this point. You weren't meant to climb alone, but you weren't meant to climb with dead weight either. Surround yourself with fire, with people who challenge you to rise, with voices that remind you who you are when you forget, with energy that makes you want to be better every single day. Because the journey is long, the path is tough, but with the right circle, you don't just survive the climb, you dominate it.